Peace, I'm J. Rod D.
And I'm G.
Check out the Poor Life Podcast question and answer edition.
It's about none other than
Nuance. Got a few questions, man. New questions and everything like that based on our most recent episode, Poor Life Podcast episode 8. So I want to follow up on something that we talked about, man.
Cool.
Talking about being purposeful, finding our purpose, right? You said the one thing you want to do is you want to be, you said for me again, remind me again. You said as far as your purpose, you want to be vulnerable, right?
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Be as vulnerable as I can.
What helps you remain in that space where you're able to portray that vulnerability, not portray, but express that vulnerability more often?
The fact that I feel like it's not just me that may be going through that situation. I feel as though that I have to attack that certain topic by not necessarily attacking it, but really respecting it and just kind of walking through it, just like a museum is. You kind of walk through it and you observe what it is. And you kind of just sit there and watch the picture kind of come to life for you, so that you can write it, or for me that I can write it in that way that I can reach somebody to say that, okay, you're not alone in this, because I've felt it too, or I've been through it too, and I just put a different twist on it through my art that says, alright, look at this picture. This is us, this is you, this is me, this is the world. Because like I think the conversation, like we spoke of even with back to like the first episode, the conversation is when people come up to us after and be like, hey man, I just want to say thank you for saying what you said in that one piece, because it really helped me understand some things. That's the greatest feeling in the world, man. What about you? Like, how do you get to that purpose or being purposeful in your art and your poetry, man?
I try to use my poetry to help me when, alright, so if I write a piece that I feel I'm being vulnerable in or vulnerable with, I try to use whatever I'm doing, I try to make sure I'm writing in a sense to make me help me maintain a sense of reality. I don't want to lose myself in what I'm saying and create a whole false narrative of what's going on. I want to keep it as accurate as I possibly can. And also afterwards, after I finish writing that, I want to be able to feel relieved that I got it off my chest, and now I'm able to see things a little bit clearer. So I try to make sure I keep myself in the mindset that, hey, look, man, I have to be accurate with this, I have to be honest, I have to be open, I have to be respectful, like you said, respectful to what this is, so that I can have a better outcome when I finish the poem. Because I mean, if my head is literally throbbing from this idea that I haven't written down yet, and I finally write it down, I want to feel relieved when it's off. I don't want to be like, that's not right. You know, so
I got you. I got you. So like, with that being said, have you ever been in a situation where you were writing something, or you started writing something that you felt like you can just go, like your pen would just not stop moving, but as soon as you started writing, you kind of froze? And if you did feel that way, like what was the thing that you did, or what was that type of that extra energy that you may have needed to continue and to finish that piece?
Yeah, keep on cooking. I may have to look at it from a different perspective. If I'm already here at this point now, I'm at point A trying to get to point Z, and I'm somewhere between like point T, you know, U, B, something like that. I'm like, all right, I need to look at this from a different angle now, and see how I can carry this through towards the end, because the ending has to be able to be something that I can look at and be like, I'm proud of that.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to stop. I want to be able to finish, you know.
Word, man. So for me, I don't think it's more so the finish as it is really fitting the puzzle pieces together. What I was trying to say, because I want it to flow. Like I feel like if I try to force the finish, then it's not gonna make sense.
Right.
So each piece has to, you know, go along with the story, because it has to paint that picture. At the end of the day, I needed to paint that picture.
Right.
So that the listeners or the viewers or whoever is just tuning in can understand, because this is my passion.
Definitely.
Like I want whatever's pouring from my heart and soul, and I'm letting that loose, and I'm being vulnerable enough to just have people like see it and listen to it and read it. I want them to feel exactly what I felt in writing. So when I read it back to myself, I try to read it in 3 different ways. I read it as the writer. I read it as a judge, and I read it as somebody who's just entertained by the art. So I can just feel like, okay, well, what would this person think? If I'm the writer, which I am, how do I feel? Do I feel like it's ready? And you never feel like, for me, you never feel like it's ready.
Okay.
Because it's always something that you're like, no, I can do this better.
Yeah.
You know, and then the judge, you gotta nitpick at certain things. Like, oh, what did this really pop out? Did this really, have some type of substance to it? This, that, and the third. And then for one that's the entertainer, that's the one that's probably gonna gas you. Like, yo, this, that, and the third. But it's powerful either way, man. And you have to be comfortable with saying, like, okay, y'all have at it. Because I've written it, it's done, I feel like it's complete, I'm gonna walk away from it.
How do you balance, the serious, heavy content with the more lighthearted, entertaining, enjoyable pieces?
Man.
Or not pieces, but parts.
The humility of it.
Okay.
Like, if you know that you're about to, like, go from something that's real light and maybe, like, humorous even. You can kind of mess around with it, but if you know, or if I know that it's going to be like more serious and it's going to really pierce at some things and some certain topics and certain feelings of people, I gotta be careful with what the words I use and how I use them, and even the rhyme, if I choose to rhyme, or the cadence, because you want people to understand that you're serious in that one part. Like, for however long it goes, whether it be 2 words or 2 bars, it's like, oh, I'm serious, and I'm not trying to really hurt any feelings, nor am I trying to, like, tamper with anybody's emotions, but I do recognize the issue at hand. What about you?
I think about, when it comes to that, I try to appropriately fit what matters at the moment. A lot of it may also have to do with timing and delivery, so I may, like, switch up the speed. I'm speaking that all this serious stuff may be fast and heavy and loud and aggressive. I stop for a second and give a little comic relief, and then try to bring it back, just to make sure that the audience is still engaged, just to make sure I'm still taking them on that journey with me, and trying to take them to that end,
Yeah, man. That's like a relieving type feel too. Once you're able to just be done or feel like you're done, really, like you put your stamp on it. Like, yo, I think I covered it. And that's just like, okay, making sure you don't force the fit. You know how we talk about forcing the fit. It's like, yo, if you feel like that's it and that's a wrap, let it go.
Let it go.
And just let it just come to fruition.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So there you have it, man. Episode 8, Poet Life Q&A. If you have any more questions, please send them, man. You can follow us, J-Rod D. He got words, Instagram, Nuance Poetry on Facebook. Also, The Poet Life.
Yeah.
Poet Life Podcast, baby. Check us out. Peace.
Subscribe.